This virtual open house is being hosted to present information about the I-77 pavement replacement project and to gather feedback about the project. The feedback you provide will help the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, make the best decision about the project as it moves through the design and construction phases. Your feedback is encouraged. You're invited to review the information on this website to find out more about what is included in the I-77 pavement replacement project, the impacts it will have on the human and natural environment, and how and when it will be built. We ask that you give us your feedback by August 24th, 2023. Comments received by this date will be formally documented and considered during the project's final design and construction phases. Responses to all the comments received will also be posted to the website after the virtual open house is over. The agenda. This presentation will include general information about the I-77 pavement replacement project, including why it is being built and what improvements will be made. We'll also provide an overview of how traffic will be maintained during construction and what detours you can expect while the project is being built. In addition, we'll provide information about how ODOT is planning to address impacts to the CHARD Avenue pedestrian bridge. Information about expected environmental and property impacts, also known as right-of-way acquisition, will also be presented. We will conclude by going over the project's next steps and sharing ways that you can provide feedback about this project. Project overview. The I-77 pavement replacement project is located in Cuyahoga County and will stretch from the Canal Road overpass in the south to I-490 in the north. This 5-year project will be built in 2 different sections. The first section will take place from south of Fleet Avenue to I-490 in the city of Cleveland and the village of Newburgh Heights. The second section will take place from Canal Road overpass to south of Fleet Avenue in the villages of Cuyahoga Heights and Newburgh Heights. The narrow median shoulders on I-77 restrict access for emergency vehicles and do not provide enough room for disabled vehicles to pull out of traffic. The narrow median shoulders limit the ability to contain water during rainstorms. Furthermore, the highway drainage system is over 60 years old and the pipes are in poor condition. The primary needs of this project include improving the drainage system and bringing the roadway up to current design standards. The project is currently estimated to cost about $110 million and will be constructed over a 5-year period. It will include the following improvements: reconstructing the I-77 and ramp pavements, drainage systems, lighting and signing, widening the median shoulders, building retaining walls, replacing the right-of-way fencing along the entire corridor, building the Slavic Village downtown connector trail from East 48th Street to Pershing Avenue, and building a pedestrian underpass at the Morgana Run Trail under I-77. These graphics compare what I-77 looks like today and what it will look like after the project is built. The project will not add any new lanes on I-77. When the project is done, there will still be 3 lanes in each direction on I-77. However, the median shoulders will be widened. Today, the median shoulders are only about 3 feet wide. When the project is completed, they will be 10 feet wide. This will improve safety in the corridor and will help keep traffic moving by providing additional areas for disabled vehicles to pull off the highway. As part of the project, the I-77 pavement will be completely removed and rebuilt. The highway drainage system will also be replaced, including increasing the size of the storm sewer pipes from 42 inches to 72 inches to capture water during rainstorms. The median barrier will also be completely replaced, and the new barrier will be 2 feet taller than the one that exists today. Finally, the lighting will be completely replaced. Today there are light poles on both sides of I-77. The project will include installing new light poles in the I-77 median barrier. Maintenance of traffic. The I-77 pavement in Section 1 will be replaced first, with work anticipated to start in the summer of 2025 and likely lasting through 2027. Once the pavement work in Section 1 is complete, the pavement replacement in Section 2 will begin. The pavement work in Section 2 is anticipated to start in the spring of 2028 and last through 2029. The final pavement surface and other finish work should be completed in the spring of 2030. Work occurring off the highway, such as construction of retaining walls, drainage work, and others, may be constructed concurrently in both sections. Throughout construction, 3 lanes will be maintained in each direction during peak travel times, although some lane closures may occur during off-peak times, and some full closures of I-77 may occur on weekends. In addition, ramps will be closed and detoured on a short-term basis. The public will be notified in advance of any planned full closures and detours during construction. In both Section 1 and Section 2, the work will generally be completed in the same order. First, ODOT will build temporary pavement along the east side of I-77 to allow 3 lanes of traffic to be maintained in each direction. This is shown by the letter A in the graphic above. Once the temporary pavement is in place, traffic will be shifted to the east, and ODOT will begin rebuilding the pavement in 5 parts, beginning with the portion marked with a number 1 on the western edge and working towards the 5th and final portion on the eastern edge. Traffic will be maintained using a combination of the temporary, old, and new pavements until the entire width is rebuilt. Project construction will last about 5 years. During that time, individual ramps will be closed and detoured to protect public safety during the construction on the ramps and to allow the project to be built faster. When needed, ramps will be closed and detoured for a maximum of 30 days. Details about the detour routes have been coordinated with the affected municipalities, and ODOT will continue to coordinate the closures to make sure that the detour routes do not conflict with other ramp closures. Finally, the public will be notified in advance of any planned ramp closures or detours. Construction is anticipated to start in July of 2025 and end in June of 2030. Work by other contractors will also be occurring concurrent with the I-77 pavement replacement work. Work being completed by the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District will overlap with the project's construction and will have separate traffic restrictions on some ramps and local roads. An overhead CSX railroad bridge that is located within the limits of Section 2 will be reconstructed as part of a separate project that will occur while Section 1 is being built. ODOT will coordinate with the I-77 pavement replacement project with other projects in the area to minimize disruptions to the traveling public. The CHARD Avenue Pedestrian Bridge. The CHARD Avenue Pedestrian Bridge is located about a quarter-mile north of Fleet Avenue. The median shoulders on I-77 cannot be widened without impacting the pedestrian bridge piers. Furthermore, the location of the existing piers would constrain maintenance of traffic operations, which could result in heavy traffic congestion and backups on I-77 during construction. The bridge is only 7.5 feet wide, which limits two-way use by pedestrians and bicyclists. The bridge is also too low and does not provide the required vertical clearance over I-77. In addition, the pedestrian bridge does not comply with the requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act and has too steep of ramps leading up to each side of the bridge. Because of these factors, the CHARD Avenue pedestrian bridge will be removed as part of this project. A survey for people who use the CHARD Avenue pedestrian bridge was conducted from February to May of 2021, and the project team coordinated with the City of Cleveland, Slavic Village Development Corporation, and Cleveland Metro Parks to evaluate options for a new pedestrian and bicycle crossing of I-77. As a result of those activities, ODOT is proposing to replace the existing I-77 bridge over the former Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad with a pedestrian underpass and connect the Morgana Run Trail under I-77. The rebuilt underpass will be lighted to promote safety and security for pedestrians and bicyclists. In addition, the project will build portions of the planned Slavic Village Downtown Connector Trail from East 48th to Pershing Avenue. The Morgana Run Trail connection and the portions of the Downtown Connector Trail will provide a new protected crossing about a quarter-mile north to replace the CHARD Avenue pedestrian bridge and will restore cross-interstate access to, from, and between the neighborhoods surrounding the pedestrian bridge. As stated earlier, the existing pedestrian bridge must be removed early in the project to facilitate maintenance of traffic and pavement replacement. However, the sequence of construction will allow the Morgana Run Trail connection and the Downtown Connector Trail to be built before or shortly after the removal of the existing pedestrian bridge. Once opened, short-term closures of the Downtown Connector Trail may be required to protect pedestrians and bicyclists during construction activities directly adjacent to the path, but ODOT will minimize the amount of time that pedestrian and bicycle traffic must be detoured to the greatest extent possible. The project will also install pedestrian signals, push buttons, warning signs, and pavement markings on Fleet Avenue crossing I-77 northbound entrance ramp to improve safety for pedestrians and bicyclists utilizing the Fleet Avenue overpass to cross I-77. Please be sure to share any feedback you have about ODOT's plan for the CHARD Avenue pedestrian bridge. Here's an example of what the Morgana Run Trail underpass might look like. It will be about 140 feet long and 20 feet wide and provide about 14 feet of clearance over the multi-use trail. Security lighting will be provided in the underpass and under the adjacent East 49th Street Bridge, which will remain in place. Environmental impacts. The City of Cleveland and ODOT have a responsibility to comply with the National Environmental Policy Act and other laws and regulations. With this in mind, the proposed project was evaluated to determine its potential effect to resources such as public recreational facilities, floodplains, waterways, threatened and endangered species, and historic properties. After an initial review, the project will temporarily impact the Morgana Run Trail, where the pavement for the new trail underpass connects to the existing trail. However, access to the Morgana Run Trail will be maintained at all times, and no permanent impacts will occur. There will be minor fill constructed in floodplains near Burke Brook but there will not be a substantial change in the flood elevations. This work was reviewed and approved by the local floodplain coordinator. A little over 1 acre of wetland impacts and 150 feet of stream impacts are expected due to regrading along the highway and fence replacement activities. Tree removal in the project area will only occur during certain times of the year to avoid impacts to threatened or endangered bats. The project will not impact historic properties. Property impacts. The land that is owned by the state of Ohio for public roads is called right-of-way. The project will require about 2.6 acres of right-of-way from adjacent property owners to build the highway. About 0.9 acres will be purchased from 3 private property owners, and about 1.7 acres of land owned by the state of Ohio will be converted to roadway right-of-way. 1 parcel will be completely acquired, and ODOT will acquire a strip of right-of-way from the remaining parcels. No homes or businesses will need to be relocated as a result of the I-77 pavement replacement project. In addition, ODOT will require about 3 acres of right-of-way on a temporary basis while the project is being built. This is called temporary easement. The purchase of private property is regulated by the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970 as amended, and ODOT will follow all state and federal requirements when acquiring property. Right-of-way acquisition is set to begin in March of 2024, with all properties to be acquired by February of 2025.
Next steps. The project is currently in design phase, which is scheduled to be complete by December 2024. ODOT will begin buying the property needed to build the project in March of 2024 and will complete that process by February 2025. Construction is scheduled to begin in July 2025 and be complete in June 2030. Thank you for your interest in the I-77 pavement reconstruction project. Feedback about this project is welcomed and encouraged. There are several ways to submit comments. The preferred method is to fill out the comment form on this project website, but all comments will be considered no matter how they are submitted. Take a moment and note your options for submitting comments. ODOT will prepare responses to the comments received and will post a summary on this website when the virtual open house has concluded. We look forward to hearing from you.